The Pope has accepted the resignation of the Archbishop of Minsk less than 2 weeks after he was allowed to return to his home country.
The 62-year-old Filipino cardinal succeeds Cardinal Fernando Filoni, who led the Vatican department for 8 years. Are you ready to be inspired by what drives a man from the streets of Manila to the heights of the Vatican? How did Luis Antonio Tagle become the smiling cardinal, and what challenges has he faced along the way? In this video, we'll uncover his powerful story and explore the impact of his mission on social justice and global issues. Could he be the next pope? Don't miss out on this thrilling exploration of a leader who is changing lives and shaping the future of the Church. Born in 1957, Luis Antonio Tagle grew up in a modest yet deeply religious family in Manila, a city bustling with energy, street vendors, and a strong sense of faith. From a young age, he was surrounded by the teachings of the Catholic Church, not just through school but through everyday life in a close-knit community. Tagle frequently volunteered at his local parish, assisting with community programs and religious education, which laid the foundation for his future as a priest. As a teenager, Tagle stood out not only for his academic brilliance but also for his kindness and empathy. He excelled in his studies, earning degrees in philosophy and theology from Ateneo de Manila University. However, it was his desire to serve others that truly made him unique. Even during his university years, Tagle envisioned a church that could bridge the gap between traditional teachings and the modern world. He felt a deep calling to connect with people on a personal level, offering them hope and guidance in their daily struggles. After completing his education, Tagle moved to Rome to pursue a doctorate in sacred theology. During this time, he began reflecting on how the Church could better respond to the needs of its followers. Tagle wasn't content with simply maintaining old traditions. He wanted to see the Church evolve, addressing modern challenges while staying true to its core mission of faith and service. Luis Antonio Tagle's academic work focused on finding ways for church leaders to collaborate better and make the Church's mission more practical and meaningful for its people. This marked the beginning of his rise within the Catholic Church. He officially became a priest in 1982, but even from the start, Tagle saw his role as more than just performing religious ceremonies. He believed a priest's mission was to serve others, listen to their struggles, and walk alongside them through life's challenges. His warmth, ability to connect with people, and willingness to listen earned him the affectionate title of the Smiling Priest. This nickname reflected the joy and humility he brought to his ministry. By 2011, Tagle's remarkable leadership caught the attention of the Vatican, leading to his appointment as Archbishop of Manila, one of Asia's most significant dioceses. Despite the immense responsibility of overseeing the spiritual care of millions, Tagle maintained his humility and focus on service. In his first homily as Archbishop, he declared, "The mission is not mine, it is Christ's." This statement set the tone for his leadership, emphasizing service over authority. Under his guidance, the Church in Manila became a beacon of hope, known for its outreach to the poor, advocacy for social justice, and support during crises. Tagle's leadership in Manila paved the way for his growing influence on the global stage. Pope Francis has appointed Manila Archbishop Luis Antonio Cardinal Tagle to a top post in the Vatican, a move that could also boost his chances of becoming the pontiff himself in the future. His vision for a church rooted in tradition yet open to modern challenges gained widespread recognition. By 2012, his impact on the global Catholic Church had solidified his role as a key figure in shaping its future. When Pope Benedict XVI appointed Luis Antonio Tagle as a cardinal, his influence within the global Catholic Church expanded significantly. At just 55 years old, Tagle became one of the youngest cardinals at the time, highlighting the Vatican's recognition of his ability to lead in both modern and traditional contexts. This appointment marked a turning point, propelling him onto the world stage and making him one of the most influential voices in Catholicism. As a cardinal, Tagle's impact extended far beyond Manila or the Philippines. He became a global leader, participating in major Vatican synods where crucial decisions about the Church's future were made. His perspectives on family, evangelization, and social justice resonated deeply with Catholics around the world, earning widespread praise for their compassion and progressive approach. Tagle became a key figure in addressing modern challenges like poverty and migration, advocating for meaningful applications of church teachings in today's world. What truly set Tagle apart was his extraordinary ability to connect with people. He wasn't just a spiritual leader or intellectual. He had a unique way of making others feel seen and valued. Whether speaking to thousands at international conferences or having one-on-one conversations with parishioners, Tagle's warmth and approachability made him relatable to all. He believed the Church's mission should be centered on building relationships rather than enforcing rules, emphasizing inclusion and compassion. Tagle also championed social justice, particularly for the poor and marginalized. His leadership during Typhoon Haiyan in 2013 was a powerful example of his dedication. In the wake of one of the most devastating natural disasters in recent history, Tagle provided not only spiritual guidance but also coordinated relief efforts, rallied international support, and offered comfort to survivors. His actions demonstrated the Church's ability to respond to crises with both practical aid and spiritual care, embodying the values of mercy and compassion. Luis Antonio Tagle is a strong advocate for social justice, working far beyond his native Philippines. His involvement in global charitable organizations has been a key part of the Vatican's efforts to address issues like poverty, climate change, and human rights. Tagle's deep understanding of the struggles faced by Catholic communities worldwide has shaped his leadership, combining faith with practical solutions to create a lasting impact. That goes beyond traditional church roles as a global leader. Tagle has launched programs to address the unique needs of different regions in sub-Saharan Africa where poverty is widespread. He has promoted partnerships to fund schools and vocational training, providing sustainable ways to improve lives while supporting spiritual growth. In Myanmar, a country torn by political and ethnic conflicts, he encouraged peace through interfaith dialogue, fostering reconciliation between Catholic and Buddhist communities. His efforts demonstrate his belief in the Church as a force for unity and healing. Tagle also emphasizes connecting with people through shared humanity. He advocates for enculturation, encouraging the Church to adapt to local cultures in Africa and Asia. He has supported the integration of indigenous music, art, and language into worship, empowering communities to express their faith in culturally meaningful ways. During the global migration crisis, Tagle stood out as a compassionate advocate. As president of Caritas Internationalis, he led the Share the Journey campaign to raise awareness about the struggles of migrants and refugees. Visiting refugee camps, he listened to personal stories and offered comfort, making him a powerful voice for the displaced. Tagle's leadership focuses on tackling root causes of global issues like inequality and climate change. He has inspired action within the Church and collaborated with secular organizations to address these challenges. His approach balances spiritual guidance with practical solutions, showing that the Church can make a meaningful difference in both spiritual and worldly matters. What truly sets Tagle apart is his humility and personal connection. He views leadership as a role of service rooted in love and compassion rather than authority. Whether speaking at global events or meeting individuals, Tagle connects with people on a deeply human level. His empathy and approachable nature have earned him respect and admiration worldwide, making him a beacon of hope and change. When Tagle speaks, whether at international conferences or casual gatherings, he connects with his audience on a personal level. He speaks from the heart, ensuring his message resonates with those in front of him. His approach is never distant or formal. He stands with people, sharing in their struggles and joy. This connection has made him beloved by Catholics worldwide as his leadership is rooted in understanding and empathy. During the COVID-19 pandemic, when isolation affected millions, Tagle became a source of hope. He used technology to stay connected, leading online masses, sharing heartfelt messages, and offering comfort during such challenging times. His actions during the crisis exemplified his role as not just a leader of the Church but a true servant of the people. Luis Antonio Tagle's messages go beyond just faith. They emphasize the importance of community and the Church's role in supporting individuals during difficult times. His ability to use modern technology to connect with people shows how well he understands the Church's needs in today's digital age. One of the most remarkable examples of Tagle's personal connection came during the aftermath of Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines. Cardinal Luis Tagle, the Archbishop of Manila, instead of delegating responsibilities, he took an active role in disaster relief. Tagle helped organize aid, visited survivors, and provided spiritual comfort. His leadership during this crisis was not just about rebuilding structures but also about mending hearts and restoring hope. His personal involvement highlighted his deep care and unwavering dedication to those he served. Even as Tagle's prominence grew within the Vatican, he remained humble and empathetic. His genuine kindness and ability to connect with people from all walks of life have continued to define his leadership. Whether in the Philippines or Rome, Tagle has stayed true to the approachable and caring figure he was at the start of his priesthood. His humility has earned him the admiration of church leaders and the respect of the faithful, showing that true strength lies in serving others with love and compassion. As the prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples, Tagle's leadership extends far beyond national borders. In this influential role, he stands at the heart of the Vatican's global mission, further solidifying his place as a leader dedicated to outreach, service, and connection. Luis Antonio Tagle has become the global face of the Church's missionary efforts. His approach to evangelization focuses not on enforcing a single ideology but on adapting Christ's message to the cultures and needs of different communities, whether in Asia, Africa, or Latin America. Tagle envisions a church that is inclusive and deeply connected to local traditions. A key aspect of Tagle's leadership is his emphasis on listening to local communities. He understands that the Church's message must align with the unique needs of each culture instead of replicating practices from Rome. This belief in enculturation, making faith an integral part of local culture, has shaped his work in rapidly growing church regions like Africa and Asia. Tagle has supported the integration of indigenous traditions and languages into worship and community outreach. This ensures that people can embrace the faith while preserving their cultural identity. Another key aspect of Tagle's leadership is his dedication to interfaith dialogue. In areas where religious tensions are high, he has worked tirelessly to promote understanding and cooperation between different faith communities, fostering unity and peace. In regions like the Middle East where Catholicism exists alongside Islam or Southeast Asia where it intersects with Buddhism, Luis Antonio Tagle has worked relentlessly to foster understanding and build bridges between faiths. He believes that dialogue is crucial for peace and unity, a message he continues to champion both within the Vatican and globally. Beyond interfaith dialogue, Tagle is a passionate advocate for human dignity. His work with migrants and refugees stands out as a defining aspect of his leadership. His visits to refugee camps in places like Lebanon and Jordan have given him a first-hand understanding of the crisis. Tagle doesn't just speak for displaced people, he listens to their stories, amplifies their voices, and seeks solutions that respect their dignity. This deep connection to the vulnerable makes his leadership both global in impact and deeply personal. Tagle's influence isn't limited to Vatican initiatives, it resonates in the hearts of Catholics worldwide. His ability to connect with diverse cultures, religious communities, and marginalized groups reflects his vision of a church rooted in inclusivity and compassion. As the church faces the challenges of a rapidly changing world, Tagle's leadership remains a guiding light, emphasizing love, service, and unity across borders. From his humble beginnings to becoming a prominent Vatican leader, Cardinal Luis Tagle's journey is a story of faith, resilience, and dedication. Born in Manila in 1957, he grew up in a modest family where faith was a central part of daily life. The lively streets of Manila, surrounded by a close-knit community, shaped his view of the church as a place of service and solidarity. His early brilliance in academics and strong faith paved the way for his path to priesthood and global influence. Luis Tagle's journey to the highest ranks of the Vatican started with a strong sense of calling. His education played a crucial role in shaping him into a leader in the church. After studying philosophy and theology at Ateneo de Manila University, he went to Rome to further his studies in sacred theology. There, he earned his doctorate, focusing on how church leaders could work together better and serve the people. Even during his years of study, Tagle's leadership potential was clear. He wasn't just focused on theological ideas but on how faith could be practically applied in people's lives. His combination of intelligence, humility, and dedication to service set him apart from his peers, and it wasn't long before the Vatican noticed his talents. When Tagle returned to the Philippines, he began his priesthood in 1982. His commitment to the people was immediate, as he didn't limit himself to the altar. He became deeply involved in the communities he served, listening to their struggles and joys. His approach to ministry wasn't about hierarchy or power, it was about building relationships. He was known for his warmth, his constant smile, and his ability to connect with people from all backgrounds, which made him beloved by his parishioners. His leadership quickly grew, and his reputation as the smiling priest reflected his dedication to serving others and living his faith authentically. In 2011, when Tagle was appointed Archbishop of Manila, it marked a major turning point in his career. Leading one of Asia's most influential dioceses was a huge responsibility, but he embraced it with grace. His first homily as Archbishop set the tone for his leadership, emphasizing that his mission was not about personal glory but about serving Christ. His leadership was defined by deep empathy for the poor, the marginalized, and those in need. During crises like Typhoon Haiyan, Tagle was at the forefront, providing both spiritual and practical support to those affected. His compassionate and visionary leadership earned him respect not only in the Philippines but around the world. By the time Tagle was made a cardinal in 2012, his reputation as a humble and compassionate leader had spread far beyond Manila. His elevation to the College of Cardinals marked the start of a new chapter in his journey, one that would see him become one of the most influential voices in the Catholic Church. Tagle's journey is a powerful example of faith, service, and leadership grounded in humility. As the Catholic Church faces the challenges of the modern world, many are beginning to wonder if Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle could be the next pope. His leadership style, based on compassion and service, closely matches the values that Pope Francis has promoted during his papacy. Both Tagle and Francis share a vision of the Church focused on mercy, inclusion, and reaching out to those who are marginalized. Their emphasis on humility and opposition to clericalism makes them natural allies, and many believe Tagle could carry Pope Francis's legacy into the future. Tagle played a key role in shaping the Church's response to some of the most controversial modern issues. During the Synod of Bishops on the Family in 2014 and 2015, he advocated for compassion and support on issues like divorce, remarriage, and LGBTQ inclusion, which helped change the Church's approach to these topics. His leadership in the Synod showed his ability to navigate difficult discussions and bring people together, even when opinions were divided. This skill in balancing tradition with a progressive outlook is one reason why many believe Tagle could be the ideal successor to Pope Francis. In addition to his work on social issues, Tagle has also been a strong advocate for environmental justice. He has supported Pope Francis's encyclical Laudato Si, which calls for global action on climate change and care for the earth. In the Philippines, Tagle has championed efforts to tackle problems like deforestation, overfishing, and the effects of climate-related disasters. Tagle has worked hard to make environmental care a central part of the Church's mission, urging for real action to protect God's creation. His dedication to environmental justice shows that he understands the Church's mission goes beyond spiritual matters. It also includes addressing urgent social and environmental issues that impact the world's most vulnerable communities. However, Tagle's path to the papacy is not without challenges. While he has the support of many Catholics globally, he must also navigate the internal politics of the Vatican. The Church is a complex institution, and becoming pope involves factors beyond personal qualities and leadership. Still, Tagle's ability to connect with people, his commitment to social justice, and his vision for a more inclusive church make him a strong candidate for the future of the Catholic Church. As the world watches Cardinal Tagle, now 55 years old, many note that his age could offer the possibility of a long papacy. This prospect is significant, as it contrasts with the older ages of many recent popes. The big question remains, will Cardinal Luis Tagle be the next pope? As the Church faces the challenges of a rapidly changing world, his leadership shows how the Church can stay relevant while holding on to its core values. Whether it's his focus on social justice, commitment to interfaith dialogue, or his ability to bring people together, Tagle's leadership sets an example of compassion and conviction. His journey is still unfolding, and only time will tell what part he will play in the future of the Catholic Church. What do you think? Could Cardinal Luis Tagle be the next pope? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.